anything pretty close for encounters?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, we catch them peeking in the windows sometimes, and
Wow.
I'm gonna put some dog food in the dog dish, and this one that I call Little Andy, he's not so little anymore. He's about 10 feet tall now.
Wow.
But this was like last June. He was right outside the kitchen window, and when I came around the refrigerator, the ground where he was standing was probably about 3 foot lower than the floor.
Holy cow!
And
yeah.
I'm about 5'11".
Yeah.
And I had to slightly look up at him. And he was close enough. If the window wasn't there, I could have reached out and touched him.
Holy cow!
Oh, he ain't hurt nothing. He's just a curious kid.
But so was it moving into Missouri the first time you had an encounter?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was that like for you the first time?
Well, the first time was April 2nd of 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of, I would say probably 70% of my 10-acre acreage is wooded. And with all this wood, and there's a lot of dead wood, I figured, well, why waste it? Why put it in a big pile and just blaze it up? I've got a wood stove, and thought, okay, well, that'll help me save some money. So throwing it in a big pile and wasting it, I cut it up because the forests here are hardwood forests.
Okay.
For the most part, it's oak. There's a lot of hickory. There's a lot of black walnut mixed in. You find a few elms here and there. I got a few wild maples, and I destroy all the black locust I can find. That's got horrible thorns.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, on my first encounter, or I guess you call it more of a sighting, the previous day I had been out cutting a bunch of wood, so I had all this wood cut, and I got in my truck, and the way my property is, it's kind of rectangular shaped, and on the south side is the road and the house, and it's kind of on a finger of land on the top of a hill, and it drops off pretty steep on both sides. On the west side of the barn, there's a trail that the Bigfoot actually use. It goes right on the north side of my barn and across the face of the dam for my pond. And on the other side, there's a gully that, well, from where the barn is down to the bottom is probably almost 100-foot elevation difference.
Wow.
And, this is kind of where, in the wintertime where you've got snow, that snowpack that gets down and stays for quite a while.
Yes, yeah.
Like right on the south edge of that.
Okay.
So as soon as that melts off a little, hey, it's 20 degrees warmer. Well, when it's 20 degrees, it's cold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now 40 degrees, you can put on a heavy flannel and go out and...
You can do, you can work, you can enjoy it.
Anything above freezing is great.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So you were hauling this wood in your truck?
Yeah, I was heading out to get my load of wood that I had cut the previous day. And I was going to make a U-turn on top of the hill where I kind of got like a little cul-de-sac trail.
Right.
And I'm coming around, and right at the edge of the tree line, I see a dark figure. Now, what I was seeing, it was all black, and I believe its back was to me because I didn't see any facial features. But I'm like, no.
Wow.
No way. No effing way. And I kind of looked off to the side because I knew there was this black locust tree and I didn't want to get a flat tire, so I didn't want to run that over. And when I looked back, it was gone. But it could have one big step and been behind foliage.
Yeah.
Now, what I saw was a lot like those silhouette pistol targets of a person.
Yes, yes.
Take the numbers and lines out. That's pretty much what I saw. It appeared to be about man-sized.
Mm-hmm.
But, I made my little U-turn and went over to where my firewood was, and I looked over my shoulder a lot, and I only grabbed about half of what I had to cut.
Oh, wow.
And, because this was only 100 feet away from where I seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyway, 2 days later, I went back to look for tracks. But the leaf litter in the trees and stuff, there weren't any tracks to be found because I don't know how wood-wise you are, but there's a lot of cover on the ground.
Yes.
If you step on it, it comes back almost like a sponge. So unless you find a track that's really fresh,
right,
you're not going to find much.
Right.
And there's a lot of grass here, and to be honest with you, it took several years to find a track that I felt worthy of casting.
Wow.
And I've only got one cast, and that was from June 6th of last year. And it was from a young male, and I call him Maximus because he's burly even for a Bigfoot. And at that time, he's probably 7 feet tall now. He's just a little kid. And he was about 6.5 feet tall, and it was a 13-inch track. And we seen him. I got one of those roll-off tow trucks where it's got, the flatbed type thing. He was I believe he was standing on the back of that hitting the mulberry tree.
Oh, really?
He was right. Because when we went out to check on the plaster cast, I seen him walk across the farmyard and then follow the fence line down into the gully.
Wow.
He, at that size, he got arms on him like an 8-footer.
Wow.
So, I mean, he's real burly. First time I've seen him was about 3:30 in the morning. I just happened to look out the front door, and he was heading towards where they bed down. And I would say he was about the size of an adult male chimpanzee. He was going on all fours, but even then his arms were like an adult gorilla's.
So you've seen him go on all fours? They do similar to what bonobos do. Bonobos, they'll go on 2 legs or 4.
When you see them, they are on all fours.
Wow. That's something you never, and I'm not, that's why I wish my student were here. Because I've only, what we see, in the media and everything is they're always upright, and they're like another form of human. They're a hominin. But I've not heard of them being on all fours.
But when I went to check for tracks, got a lot back here.
Yeah.
When I went to check for tracks, I realized that with the slope of the hill, what I thought was about 6 foot tall was actually about 8 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
It didn't have the super wide shoulders, so I believe it was an adult female.
Okay.
And then, a week after that, my dog Boomer, I let him out, I don't know, it was like midnight or a little later, and at this time I was living alone. And I got my backyard fenced in because I don't let my dogs run.
Okay.
And he jumped the fence, and the fence is like 4.5 foot tall. My dog Rascal, he's too little to jump the fence. So I let Rascal in, and about 20 minutes later, there was Boomer at the front door. He kind of put his paws up looking in, and I let him in, and oh, God, he reeked. Oh,
wow.
He had a smell that smelled like, you know how a sweaty horse smells?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you take that, you add burnt smoke balls, and then a skunk undertone.
Oh, gosh.
This was on his back. See, now what I've come to discover is only the adult male hunters use skunk.
Yeah.
And it it isn't from some gland like all these
Yeah.
people. They use skunk.
They use actual skunk.
Think of a bow hunter.
Yeah.
In a tree. What's he do? He goes to Walmart or Cabela's or one of them places, and he gets something to mask his scent.
Right, the human smell, right?
When you're a big old smelly Wookie in the woods, you have to use what's available, and about the only thing strong enough to overpower his scent is skunk.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
roadkill or something.
Roadkill. Yeah. That's interesting.
Well, like, seriously, they've got a strong odor to them. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And now the young males and the females don't smell like that. It's just the
big males.
And here they're 12 feet tall.
Holy cow.
Yeah. On all fours, they're 7.5 feet tall.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's something, I don't know. I wouldn't want to meet one on a dark night.
Well, I have several times, but this one night, well, this was like 2 weeks after I had that encounter where I seen the one. I was down in the same area, and when you inherit, when you buy an old place, this was built like right after the Korean conflict, so I don't know, 53, 54. There's a lot of junk around. I took a burn barrel and I went down to this area that was below the dam where there's kind of a ravine there where the runoff from the dam goes. And it was all full of a lot of junk. And I figured, it's kind of a fire hazard, so I guess, you get rid of the old wood and the plastic. You burn what burns and start throwing metal in a pile to haul off to the scrapyard. So I'm down there doing this, and this is kind of near the northwest corner of my property. And, it's kind of in a lower spot. And there's a hill, well, on the west side of my property, there's just kind of like an old cow path to give access to the 10-acre piece of land to the north of me.
Right.
Well, anyway, I was down there and I was burning all this stuff, and all of a sudden from the hill to the west, I hear 6 wood knocks right in a row.
Wow. 2,
3, 4, 5, 6. And then I hear something big moving towards me. That was about the end of April, and this is when about the end of April, beginning of May, so that's right about when the trees all begin to leaf out.
Right.
Well, whatever it was settled behind a clump of oak trees that there were, I don't know, probably 7 of them that were in a clump, probably 12, 15 inches across. And it settled down there, and it was probably, 100 feet away. And I had said, it's okay, I won't hurt you. I know you're there. And I'm doing stuff, and pretty soon, I don't know if it was a pebble or a hickory nut or but something come over, flying and hitting the junk pile probably 25 feet away from me. And I kind of laughed. I said, it's okay. You don't have to hide from me. I won't hurt you. So I'm trying to communicate with it. And pretty soon another one comes, hits on some tin, and I kind of laughed a little bit. Well, then there's this creek that it's kind of a dry creek unless it rains.
Okay.
And that's just past the north edge of my property. And I hear something coming down the creek, sounds about like a blind elephant or something.
Wow.
Because I'm hearing a bunch of branches snapping and stuff. I'm not hearing any vocalizations, but I just got that thought in my head, like when rival groups of chimpanzees come together, how they'll break branches and other stuff to try and intimidate the other ones away rather than fight them.
Yep.
And that went through my head, and I thought, well, this wasn't one of my more braver moments. I thought this might be a good time to get in the truck and go up to
And get out.
Yeah.
And that. What I'll say, you just raised a question for me on. Do they do any of the tree structures and like bending trees and moving logs and things?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also found signs of them farming.
Oh really?
Across the road.
Ah.
There's a pond over there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was kind of a teepee type structure with 4 uprights.
Mm.
This one oak tree was it wasn't real big around, but it was long and straight, like a 40-footer that was snapped.
Wow.
In the middle,
Mm-hmm.
that part was laying on the ground, and the other part was an upright.
Interesting.
Well, on this upright, it was covered with those turkey tail mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
But the piece of it that it was still attached to, laying on the ground, didn't have nothing.
Oh wow, interesting.
Now, I found that to be extremely odd.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would you have, usually if a tree has fungus, it has it from top to bottom.
Yep. Yeah, that stuff grows through up and down the whole tree, yeah.
So I suspected that it was possibly they were farming mushrooms. And there was kind of like a little hidey hole in the brush where like a little one could get in there and be away from things.
Hmm.
And I kind of figured the Indians learned to live with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try too, and I reached out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I still had a billy goat running around here. He was a bottle baby, so he was kind of a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd get towards night, and I'd call out to him. His name was Little Baby, and I call out, Little Baby, and say, are you hungry? And boy, he'd come running, and he'd get fed. So they were watching me, so they caught on to that.
Ah.
So I went down to that spot where I was burning, and there was this big old oak log that was kind of rotten. That was probably 2 foot across. And I had my burn barrel down there and a shovel, and I'd yell out into the hollows, are you hungry? And then I'd whack the shovel against the burn barrel a few times. I mean, it made a heck of a racket.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd do something, and every time I come back, it was gone.
Mm.
It was hard to tell what got it, so I got clever.
Mm.
I took down some eggs in the shell.
Okay.
Because I figure if it's a critter, they're going to eat it right there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But if a Bigfoot takes it, you don't find the eggshells.
Yeah, they'll take the whole thing and walk off.
Or just pop it in their mouth and swallow it.
The whole thing. Right.
And they love maple-flavored bacon. I used to have a pretty good place where I'd go and get it, and I'd buy it for them. I tried to report, my initial sighting and talked with the game warden, and he was like, "Whoa, they're not a protected species, so."
Oh my gosh.
My advice is shoot it in the face. I said, what is the matter with you? He said, they ain't hurting nothing.
Oh gosh.
I said, I don't have any reason to kill one.
Right.
Honestly, I think most of these structures are kind of markers of the territory that the young ones and the females roam.
Ah, interesting.
Kind of, because the big males, they run the deer in a big circle, and they travel a long ways, and they run a 3-day schedule where they'll be gone for 3 days, and they'll be around the family for 3 days, and then about mid-August, they split into 2 groups. So there's always a male presence around because I believe that's when the mating season begins.
And so you've observed this sort of movement?
Huh?
You've observed this movement and timed it like how many days?
Yeah, the 3-day schedule.
And what, they sort of appear, or the trees get...
Well, you can hear them howling with coyotes because each of the male hunters, the adult males, have about 5 coyotes with them.
Really?
They use the coyotes like a shepherd uses dogs.
Wow.
I've seen this one time where I was looking to the west, and I could see the hill on the west side of my property. So it was, after the leaves had fallen, and I don't remember if it was in the fall or spring, but I could see over there, and I seen like 20 deer come just running. And then there were about, at least a dozen coyotes coming behind them. And then I see 3 big males running on all 4s behind the coyote.
Wow.
That's the only time I've ever seen, that.
Well, that's another thing that I've never seen reported, is that they work with canines.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, that's interesting, because I have, in all the Bigfoot stuff that I've seen and watched, I've never heard that. I've heard about the portals. I've heard about UFO Association. I've never heard that they are like our ancestors and using kind of semi-domesticated canine.
Well, I believe the coyotes are completely under their control.
Wow.
And the thing is, they work together. Now, I believe they're like domesticated, and the Bigfoot is the master over the coyote.
Well, it doesn't. I'm not to interrupt, but as humans, our species, we did that with the wolf like 30,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, see, they, like, the males will howl if the coyote's gone, and use it to cover the sound of them talking. Sometimes the coyotes quit, and you can kind of hear them. When the coyotes stop, you'll hear, like, some of their language.
And so you feel that they have a language?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They're sentient beings. They get a language and a culture and all kinds of stuff.